Okay, let's just straight into the topic. For now, the endgame system for this game is separated into two parts. One is classes fight. Second is farming dungeons. The classes fight is focused on the firearm attack. The game designer wish every single player to use their firearm to kill the boss. And in the dungeon system, it's opposite. The designer wants us to use skill to kill the mobs. Let me give you guys some examples here. We all know the Ultimate Epic is famous for the one shot every single boss. Not every single boss. The early stage boss in this game. So when they're building this character, they are focused on the skill damage. In order to max out the skill damage, we need to put skill crit mods on our Descendants, max out our skill damage. But if we are playing a firearm focused Descendant, our module is going to be increase our survivabilities because we are now relying on our skill damage. Do you see the difference? If you want to max out your skill damage, you are going to use your firearms buff, firearms module, your skills buff, and skill damage module. If you're trying to build a Descendant is to max the firearm damage, you are going to have more survivabilities module here. That's the difference. But Kyle seems like an exception. Let me show you a small video here. I have to say, the idea for this Kyle build is pretty good. Like, the first skill's cooldown is like 6.8 seconds. And as you can see, every 6.8 seconds I can nuke to the boss with a 3.6 million damage. If it crits, damage is going to times 4. The idea was so good. So I even spent like last week to trying to finish this build. But the outcome is I failed. So why Kyle here? Why I choose Kyle? It's because Kyle have a good survivabilities and a high skill damage output. We can use shield Ajax to increase our Kyle's max shield limit, and the max shield limit gonna increase Kyle's skill damage. So Kyle is gonna be the best option if you're trying to test for the skill power damage. But here is the outcome. Even with the Ajax, the resistance system on the boss really fuck every single skill damage character up. The damage is so low. Like my crit is like 15% and my crit damage is like 4 times. There's no way we can use skill damage type character in a classes fight. Damage is too low compared to the Enduring Legacy and with Angel here. Some smart people might think about Luna going to help this, but I'm just straight to tell you guys, Luna is not designed for the classes, it's not designed for the dungeons either. She's designed for the future dungeon. If you look at the roadmap, there's one dungeon called the Mega Dungeon. She's for here. If you have some Luna gameplay experiences, you're gonna know. Nobody is going to put skill cooldown module on her because the skill cooldown module only affects the cooldown on when you failure on the node. And the only way we can build up our resource is through our force skill. When we press force skill and shoot the enemy, we can build the resource bar. And then we press any second or third skill to buff our teammates. So the ideal way to play this character is like every 45 seconds, we are going to give our teammates a 10-second buff that increase their crit rate, and crit damage. This is a burst type buff, right? And everything going to make sense if Luna is going to work in the Mega Dungeon. They have mentioned Mega Dungeon is not a solo gameplay raid. We are going to party up. If we look at our dungeon's experiences, we are going to use bounty here. Because there are a lot of mobs, you are not going to use your guns here. The only thing you need to do is walk through, and bounty skill gonna kills everything. That's the basic idea for the dungeons, right? And if it's Mega Dungeon, that's going to be something powerful in the end. And our Luna here going to increase every single teammate's skill crit rate to 100%, 10 seconds, and one-shot that boss with your skills. That's more logic, right? So if you agree with me, the formula gonna be look at your red module first. If it's skill focused, then it's going to be the dungeon one. If the module can buff your teammates or debuff the classes, then that's the classes fight one. More specifically, for the classes fight, any module can trigger the passionate sponsor mode, or buff firearm damage, or debuff classes. It's considered to the classes fight.